This is my privilege that I am here with you to talk about remote work. In this session, we are going to talk about that how remote work can be made more effective both for employers and employees. So, I am going to talk about certain tips that how remote work can be made more effective for both the parties involved. So, friends, let's talk about tips for remote work. I hope you all understand that remote work is working from distance, not working at office environment. Either you work from home, you work from a cafe, or you work from any place other than your office, or you may work partially from office and partially from workplace, right? That is, or partially from home. Even that is a remote work. The third possibility is that you are working completely from remote and you are never going to office ever. So, there are all kind of possibility, mix and match are possible, and different companies are following different kind of remote work options or models. But the points I am going to discuss in the form of tips are going to help every kind of or every type of remote work, be it flexible or full time remote work, or the freelance type of remote work. So, let us take up a few points. Number 1, establish a designated workspace. Number 2, adhere to a routine. Number 3, determine your optimal work hour. Number 4, take regular breaks. Number 5, decide when your work day ends. So, these are the 5 points. I will take up another points in next few minutes. So, first point is establish a designated workspace. If you are working from home, then make sure you have a designated desk. There are companies which provide desks, and all mic and all those basic essential things to work remotely. There are companies which do not, right? It all depends what kind of company you are working in. Whichever, either the company is providing you all the basic amenities to work remotely or not, but you make sure you have a designated workspace where all kind of basic stationery and digital infrastructure is available. So, most of the time I have seen people generate small room or one corner of the living room. It all depends on basis on the facility or the area available with you. And people who do not have such specific space available, they generally would go and sit in a cafe or in some other public space where it is allowed to do. But designated workspace allows you to have all basic requirements, be it pen, paper, pencil, eraser, notepad, etc. around you, right? You do not have to struggle to note down when suddenly something pops up in a meeting and which demands you to write down or note down. So, that is why having a designated workspace is important. Second is adhere to a routine. It is very important to be in discipline even you are working remotely. The flexibility we enjoy when it comes to waking up, we save time, when it comes to having lunch with family members or dinner with family members. But even then we should have almost the same routine. Let us say you start up or you open up your laptop, say 9 every day, 9:30 morning in the every day, or 10 every day, depending upon the kind of work you are in or the team you are in, right? But having a routine really gives us a better clock. Our body clock works better if our routine is fixed. Our mind knows that this is what next is required. For example, I will wake up at my own at a fixed time every day morning, because before my alarm even, because my mind is trained in that way. I just sharing example. So what happen to you if you follow a routine? It will give you a better healthy life, and emotionally you will be better because you are following a routine. You are not struggling with time. The third point was you should determine your optimal work hour. You considering the space you are having your work station at your home itself. Maybe your wife, your kids, they all leave by 9. So, the better time could be to start after that. But if your kids and family, everybody leaves at 8, then you are working from home, you can start at 8:30 even, right? So you have to see, looking at the surroundings you work from, or looking at the requirement of the work and the best possible, best possible output, which you think that I feel tired at 1:30, I feel tired in the evening. Somebody will say, I feel energetic in the evening hours, I feel tired or exhausted during the early morning because I don't get better sleep. It all depends, right? So these optimal work hours would differ from work to work and person to person. So everyone should decide his or her optimal work hours when person is working remotely. And when we are working remotely, we may tend to sit constantly, and we want to wind up or complete the task at the earliest possible, and we are just sitting constantly without taking any break, with this idea that I will finish off and then I will go, at the end I will go out with my friends or family, or I will watch a movie. That's not a great idea, because if you are stretching yourself beyond certain limits, you are going to have backache, you are going to have eye problem in your eyes will get dry, etc., etc. It will lead to health issues. So it's important, if you are working from home, from a cafe shop, even then you should take certain breaks after every few minutes, hours, every hour or two you should get 5 minutes, 7-minute break. You should stretch your legs and your body. That's what they say. The next point, number 5, was decide when your work day ends. It should not be that I am working from home, it's fine, I can continue till 8, and your family is upset, they are working at the dinner table. You start at a time which you decide, but you never keep a time or a deadline for ending your day. Even that is very bad, right? Because you want to do as much work as possible, but that's going to cause a trouble to your health. So make sure you decide your starting point as well as your ending time for the day. Another tips are, number 6, create a work-life balance. Number 7, determine your work style. Number 8, communicate with co-workers. Number 9, eliminate distraction. Number 10, get dressed. So, 6th number point is that create a work-life balance. People get so much involved in working from home, they take it that I have this much stamina, my productivity has gone up, and I can complete these many projects in a day, I can complete these many tasks in a day. That's not done. We need to create a work-life balance. We should spend or spare time for us first of all. The me time should be there, and then family time should be there. Me time may include you working, stepping out, working, going for a walk, going a break, and doing some yoga, some exercise, some stretching, stepping out with family for anything, and then completing the tasks. So it's just, when we say work-life balance, doesn't mean that only considering the personal life or paying importance to personal life. We should have, when we say work-life balance, means we should create a balance between both work life and the personal life, both. So that's what is required. So this, if we do not do gradually over some period time, we will end up having dissatisfaction in work, in remote work. We will end up having frustration in our own behavior. So 7 number point was that you decide what is your work style. That first I invite for a meeting, I do a meeting, and then I complete a task, I take up the follow-up meeting, etc., etc., or you just give a writing, direction in writing over mail, that this is the task, send direction over mail, and then do a meeting once to review what has been finished. So these are the just 2 examples, but there could be so many more permutation and combination, permutations and combinations to work remotely, right? So you should decide which style works best for you, or you may like to look at the other's experience and decide that this is something working very well in the same industry for someone else. You can try that one style, and then later on you may switch or review that style and may modify your own style, right? So this is important to to work when you are working remotely, that you know your style of working. Then the next point is that though that somebody is working remotely or I am working remotely, you should try to connect or communicate with co-workers on message, on WhatsApp, on mail. That gives you a feeling that people are around, that gives you that you are alive, otherwise it will just be a kind of mechanical work, that you are being given directions and you are completing it and submitting it on the software or online. That is really a very sad situation. So people should communicate on co-worker. So I know companies which will organize singing competition online. People sitting at different locations, they sing, and they connect with the co-workers. They have coffee party, while sitting, coffee break while sitting at far places. So everybody will get a cup of coffee from his home or a cafe shop and will have or sip it at the same time, right? These are the times to connect, these are the breaks to connect with workers. You are sitting having coffee but talking about something personal, something about work, but in a non-formal environment. So such things are very important to make remote work effectively. And then make sure that you distract from, you avoid, you eliminate all possibility of distraction. Let's say you are working from home and there is a world cricket, world tournament, World Cup, and you are working from home. There is a likelihood you are a very fond of cricket match and you want to watch the match. You are going to miss your deadline for different projects. Maybe you are going to miss your meeting or certain important things, or even your routine for that matter. So we should eliminate that. No way during working hours I will watch any match, right? It could be football match, or it could be anything, or any music competition, or it could be anything which you are interested in. So all such distractions, you should not plan meeting during the working hours to your friends. You should take it that you are working from home, you are having comfort of home, but you are not, you cannot skip the working hours or meetings just because of, there is a plan of friends and you just want to join them. So we should ensure that we do not do any such thing which is distraction and can hamper my productivity. And it is suggested that you have a bath and you dress up for the day as you are going to work. It should not be that you are sitting in your pajamas and you are taking meetings because you are not switching on your camera. So we should dress up, because dressing is not just to showcase to others. Dressing is to feel good. You will feel good, you will feel confident about yourself. You will feel energetic, your productivity will go up. That's why we need to dress up, right? So there was during Corona days, there was statement by one of very leading business house of India, and the owner, the CEO himself made a statement. It was published in a newspaper and everywhere was spoke about. I don't want to quote the person here on a public domain, but it was something that person said: in all my meetings I am in lungi and but at the top I am wearing my blazer and tie. So at the top I am wearing my blazer, I am wearing my coat, a tie too, but at the bottom I am wearing my lungis. This is something was made in a public statement, in a public. So of course there is this comfort in wearing lowers or shorts or lungi or whatever, pajamas, but it's important that we change, if not complete, at least my blazer and shirt I change every day. I shirt my tie every day and I dress up comfortably, of course, but I dress up every day. So dressing up for the occasion is very, very important. Now next few more points, how to improve the remote work. Stretch your muscles, this is number 11. Number 12, drink water. Number 13, use reliable technology. Number 14, set ground rules. Number 15, ask for what you need. So friends, we have seen There was a survey, I am forgetting which agency came up with that survey, which actually published the data that rise in backache amongst youngsters due to remote work, because people are working remotely and they are not having a perfect shape of the table and that perfect size of the table and perfect height of the chair. They are probably working from a couch, from sitting in the bed, maybe half lying down, partially, maybe, so they do not stretch their muscle because they are not sitting in a right posture, because they are not stretching their muscles in between, not taking breaks and working constantly in a inappropriately height or designed table or chair. So it leads to pain. So it's very important, because you will not be able to work remotely permanently in this way if you do not take care of your backache, your muscles especially. So it's become important that we stretch our muscles after every few minutes, after every few hours, and we remain healthy. Otherwise you are going to end up having pain in your different parts of your body, and especially your eyes too. So we should be stretching our muscles of eyes as well, the facial muscle as well, because maybe I didn't speak for hours. So I need to speak, I need to stretch my facial muscles as well, not only my arm or legs, right? So our face has muscles. I hope you all understand that. So it's important to stretch our facial muscle, because maybe I'm not speaking at all, I do not have meeting, but if the meeting was there, it was simply on text, everything was sent on text, there was no spoken discussion. So it becomes important to stretch your facial muscles, to stretch your body muscles. The second point is, it's important to drink water or juice or chai, etc. in between. So otherwise you will be dehydrated, and if you are dehydrated, your skin will cause trouble, your eyes will be dry, your stomach, your gut health will be bad. So it will lead to many problems. It seems just water, it is not just the water. The water is something which replenish everything in every cell of our body. So it's very important that we are not lost in work in such a way that we do not take care of basic thing of drinking water. It sounds very naive that I am talking about drinking water, but it is very important. We need to remind people. I have seen families where mothers or the spouse, they take a point to remind their spouses or their children to have water in between. They will send the water bottle or a glass of water. So this is what it means. This means that having water at some frequent distance or interval is very important, right? The next point is that we should use technology which is reliable. Your whole concept of remote work has come up effectively and is growing up so fast simply because now we have reliable technology. But there are people who opt to work from home, but they do not have very effective camera, they do not have very good laptop, they do not have very good sound system or microphone. So it will lead to what? It will lead to trouble in understanding, getting the direction or giving the direction or sharing the update. When we are working remotely, everything is happening remotely. Be it giving the directions or be it taking the direction, be it briefing the update or be it just showing certain PowerPoint or certain development, certain pictures. So everywhere technology is needed, right? So if my technology is not reliable, if my technology really troubles me, the small example, to work remotely, we need internet connectivity as well. What will happen if you are in a city where internet connectivity is not effective? And it happens in especially like developing countries. They are all tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities are not well equipped with very good internet connectivity, right? Maybe tier 1 cities are, but not all type of cities, especially tier 4, tier 3. We know there are countries where the electricity hasn't reached to many villages, many cities, right? Forget about internet. Though there is a very high penetration of internet, and the whole remote work concept is based on technology, right? So it becomes very, very important, imperative that the technology you use, the software you use, the internet provider you use, they all are reliable and you can trust them and you can work uninterrupted due to any technological hitch. The next point is that the ground rules should be set very clear. Neither employee nor employer should take it granted that person is working from home. So what? He is at home, he is at the comfort of home. No man, it is that you chose to work remotely because you have certain obligation, because you have certain preferences, right? The ground rules about many are things, that by what time the meeting will end, or beyond what time there will be no meeting, by earliest by which time of the day a meeting can start or a request can be sent for a meeting. You know, the ground rule regarding the payments, about the payments of internet, the payments of the software which are used, it should be clearly dictating or stated everywhere between the two people, the employer and employee, or a freelance and the perspective, or the person who has given the project, right? So it should be clearly stated that who is going to pay for the technology, be it internet, be it phone service, be it WhatsApp service, be it laptop repair, etc., etc. So ground rules about everything should be spelt very well in advance, should be known to everyone, all the employees who are taking work from home option or working remotely, and to employer as well. They should be in writing. All the ground rules should preferably in writing. That really helps. One is that we assume that the office hours are 9 to 5, but another is, had it been written in the either the offer letter or joining letter, where it is written clearly that the work will end by 5, then thereafter if something emerges and somebody is keen to complete that, then it is a matter of choice, but you are not bound by the rules that you can be called up for a meeting at 9 in the evening or 10 in the evening or 12 midnight. So these rules, be it timing of the working, be it the deadlines, be it the expenditure for technology which is used, so many more such things, right? So we should have the ground rules established, defined and communicated very well to all the parties, to all the people. The last point I want to make is that ask for what you need. It is something very important. If you are working remotely, means what? You do not have friends around, you do not have co-workers around, you do not have your boss around. So what will happen if you get stuck into some project you are working, or any task you are doing? You need to ask. People forget to ask or inquire about even from their colleagues or friends when they start working remotely. Gradually they start feeling aloof, they start feeling they are not connected. It will feel bad, it will look bad if I go to them, right? If I go and ask my boss at this hour of the day, if the rule is defined that what is our working hour, and if you have the task or the question to ask within those ground rules, defined rules or working hours, then it's absolutely fine. There should not be any hesitation. I will ask when there's a meeting being called by the boss. I will ask. These kind of things have been happening, but it ultimately delays completion of your project. It ultimately causes you dissatisfaction if you are not able to complete the project online. It unnecessarily leads to maybe bad image about you, the wrong idea about you, that you cannot complete the project. So it has many repercussions. So it's very, very important that we ask what we need, be it technical help, be it manpower, be it calling a meeting, be it all kind of things to complete the job, right? So it's very important that we are open in demanding what we need. So friends, if you are working remotely, make sure you take care of all these points very, very carefully, because they may sound very basic thing, but people tend to forget to take break, to drink water, to stretch their muscles, and finally the end result is they start feeling that the working from remote is bad. It is not bad. It is going to stay and is going to be effective, provided you take care of all these small things which I just discussed, right? So please feel free to write to us in case you have any question. I hope I was able to explain it very well, that what all tips do we have to make the remote work more effective, more beneficial to both employers and employees. If these points which I discussed are taken care well, both employer and employee will get benefited. So time to wind up, friends. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you.